Hey everybody, Scruffed here. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to our Let's Farm series on the old stream farm. Right, so in the last episode, we pretty much got back into the swing of things after my holiday, and it's now the next day in real life, not the next day in the game. And I've done a lot of work behind the scene that I said I was going to do in the last episode. As you can tell, the cows are not happy with me. They've lost all the grass. It's a bit of a weird thing at the moment because it's got lime on it. But it is ploughed, and I've done the exact same with the sheep pasture as well. So we're going to get this planted in. We're going to direct seed it this time. I have returned back the other seed that we got. And I've done a few other things as well along the way. So I actually got the field that's just in that direction that I couldn't seed in because I didn't have a direct seeder. I got that sorted out. I just did some cultivating, seeded with the same seeder that I've returned. And I also did some rolling as well, which you can see. So yeah, we definitely progressed through some of the jobs that needed doing. And that's because in this episode, we want to be moving forward with some pretty important jobs. We've got to sort out the pasture for the cows and for the sheep. We need to make the most of that grazing mod. Just pause that there a second. Just stand up on here. You can probably see the sheep. They're also walking around thinking, where the hell is my grass gone? So we're going to sort that out. I've got everything leased out, ready to rock and roll at the shop. We're going to bring that down, and yeah, we're going to get the job cracking. We've got to mow the 3 grass fields as well and turn that into the bunker. So it's going to be a long episode gameplay-wise, but we'll do a few jump cuts and so on. But let's crack on. I'm glad I've got all these jobs out of the way. The only thing I've got to do now with this really is fertilise. I mean, what do you think of that texture as well? That roll texture, I prefer that a lot. I think it's it's much easier to notice as well when you've done the rolling. But I think it's spot on. So yeah, pretty much all the fields that I've rolled are like that. Actually, thinking about it, I need to update this. So let's do that quickly. I haven't been done that. So we can put done on that. We can do done on that as well. We've done the lime. Ploughing, I'm not going to leave. I'm going to leave that be. Save the changes on that one. I know I've done all the barley fields anyway, so that's spot on. Lime's done, mulching, blah blah blah, rolling done. So I've got save changes on that one, and we also did the rolling on that. So that's pretty much up to date. Where's the last one? The wheat one. So we can put the rolling to done. Yeah, that's all sorted. So you can see now a lot of it is starting to change to done. There is a couple that we need to obviously crack on with. We need to do lime in the cornfield, which is after the soybeans. So anything that's got soybeans in now, that's fields that we still need to work on. But I think we're doing all right, aren't we? Let's have a quick look at the map then first before we crack on with it. You see you've got 4 fields now sorted out, ready, all growing. I've actually got these now that have appeared because that's the pastures, because I've actually ploughed into them. Which meant that I had to spend about £800 getting soil samples done on precision farming, which I'll go to in a second. Well, let's just check the last tab. Yeah, wait, this one, I've gone past it. So nothing needs rolling, nothing at all. So that's spot on. So let's go to precision farming. You can see, yeah, these have jumped in, and pH is all sorted on them. Just going to need some nitrogen, but I'm going to try and do the nitrogen in one hit. Let's jump up to here, get in the Deutsch spot, and we'll get onto the direct seeder. I've tried to go with not a massive one, but not one that's going to take ages because I want to try and be productive with my time, because we're going to use that pickup wagon and the mowers to get the grass done. It's really important now that we get that sorted out. Don't have solid fertilizer, do I? So I've just thought about that. We're going to have to buy some solid fertilizer. Got seeds back at the farm, but we don't have solid fertilizer, and I want to try and get it so when this is done, we don't really need to do anything with. Because what I'm trying to do is just get the precision farming score up on it, because it's going to now equate to that field at the front. That's going to kind of join together. All them 3 are now because I've been ploughing in that area. So if I can get that maxed out and then just tend to the other fields and just not worry about the grazing one, let the cows do that. As long as it's fertilised once, we shouldn't need to do it again. Hopefully. All right, where we got? This looks like to be the cheapest. I imagine we're not going to need any more than that, to be honest, so we may as well just leave that there. We can always bring it back to the farm later on. But yeah, let's get this filled up. We're going to obviously change to grass as well. We may as well quickly do that. There we go. 1,000 litres of solid fert on them 2 areas should be plenty. again, I've gone with something harsh as well, the equipment. I'm really enjoying this series at the moment. I hope everyone else is, but it's just a nice change of pace, and yeah, I'm enjoying just kind of playing the game again. I've said that a few times, but with all the prep work that goes into like role plays and you know, the career mode that I was doing, it was taking away a bit of the fun that I get just from relaxing and playing the game. So I think it's a nice mixture for me to have, obviously, the farmhand, because I really love doing that, like being creative. But then, yeah, this is just a nice mixture. I think it ties in well with FS25, because when that drops, I can just go and take this series over there and we can start, you know, a new Let's Play or a Let's Farm on the FS25 base game maps that we get. So it should be perfect. But yeah, let's get this done. This is going to be one of the jobs that I want to try and get done as quick as possible so we can just focus on getting the grass work done. I do also plan on buying some hay bales at the end of this episode, and we can put some, obviously, silage in the bunker. But yeah, I want to try and get some hay bales because we're going to have to feed the cows and the sheep something, because they've got absolutely nothing, which is not good. It really isn't. So even if we buy, you know, 4 bales or something just to tie them over, and we just keep feeding them until we get some grass popping through. Yeah, we're going to have to do something. Luckily, with the fertilizer not requiring too much, with it being grass, we should definitely not use hardly any of this solid fert. And I can confirm that I sorted out my stream deck. No more faffing. So I've got the GPS on the vehicle control add-on, so we should be all set to go. So let's get this grass seeds in for the sake of the cows. I know we're going to be driving through cows. You're going to have to just forgive me on that. But there's not really much else I can do. It's yeah, it's needed. I mean, if I could buy and afford the other cow pasture that's out in, I think it's to the north of the map, this one. There might be another one somewhere as well, but yeah, if I could buy them, then I would, because we could use it anyway to send cows out. But I want to try and be making milk. That's the whole point of me spending the money I did on them. They weren't cheap, and I had to spend quite a bit of money on getting the cows at the right age to just starting, producing milk from the get-go. So we need to get them fed, and I don't know if they're going to produce milk out in them pastures. It's something I'll have to test out, because I know some of them have like a milking robot, and it kind of simulates that you can still get milk out there. But a lot of pastures, the way they usually work in the summer months is you bring your cows in anyway twice, no matter what. So, you know, if you're putting the cows out for summer, they'll still come back in twice a day to be milked. That's not something that we can do in FS, is it? Unfortunately, that would be cool though. You have to bring and transport your cows just so they get milked. Probably be a bit of a pain after a while, but I mean, I'd do it quite happily. I think it'd be a bit of fun. Might get tedious though, but you know, there could be a better way of doing it maybe. But it is realistic after all. If they were close to the farm like most farmers have, then yeah, that probably would make it a lot easier. But this field that I'm thinking about is quite far out. I'm sure of it. I can only remember it because I watched Mr. Sealy P's map review, and he did say there was one out, and I'm sure it's at the north. The map. There might be some others as well. There's definitely a few. Right, so that's the first headland done, and it looks better, but there's still no grass. But the good thing is, when we get to November 1, we'll have some grass, a very small amount. I don't think... Maybe the cows can graze a little bit off that, but we'll have something. It's better than nothing. We've also got the sheep to do. Now that one's a little bit easier. It's just a tad bit smaller. I think I went for the right size cedar. Anything bigger would have been been a little bit tricky in this tight area with the fences as well. There's no runoff, so I've got to make sure I do it inside. I've already clipped the fence a couple of times, and I thought if I go any smaller, it's going to take me forever. And the main job in this episode is going to be the grass silage in the bunker. So, yeah, I just want to try and get it done as best I can and be as more and as efficient as possible without making my life a bit tricky, picking too big of equipment. But we will fly through this, and you can see that we're not using too much solid fertiliser or seeds. I'm quite happy with so far how it's consuming. Let's just lift that up in a minute. I'd be interested to know if anyone else is playing on this map. If you're watching and you're playing on it, have you had the same issue? Are you using the grazing mod? Have you done this, or did you use the paint texture just to have a quick solution? It really would be a quick solution. And another positive of that is it wouldn't count then in precision farming. You know, it wouldn't notice the field to having a PF score, which obviously affects... let's just quickly bring it up. Yeah, so if we go to PF here, as you can see, go to the soil types. Yeah, you can see that this block is now included in that, so not ideal. So yeah, painting down grass would have been probably the better option. But no, we're going to make it more tricky. We're going to try and be somewhat realistic. Even though I'm driving through cows, I'm saying that. I'm being realistic as I drive through a cow laying down on the ground. And it's not even grazing because it's just hitting a load of mud and lime. It's actually soil, so not too bad. To start using GPS. I mean, I did start it right at the first headland, but then I thought I can do this better just by doing it myself. But I might actually do it now, because then I can turn up and down. But yeah, we'll get this sorted. It's a job that needs doing anyway. And it doesn't have to be too pretty with it just being a grazing field. You know, we're trying to improve our environmental score, obviously, but you know, it doesn't matter too much if we're... Yeah, it doesn't matter too much if we just fly through it. We're not going to get any yield from it. I don't think it's ever going to be a field that we come in and mow. But at least the cows are getting some good grub from it. You know, we're improving their grazing grass.
For someone else to say, I can live my
Right, there we go, sorted out. So I think the only thing I need to do on that, let me just check this, because I don't know if it's updated. So nitrogen, obviously, that needs updating, but that'll be, I don't know when that'll be. Surely it usually updates after you've harvested, but we're technically not going to mow it or harvest it. So hopefully that'll do it when the cows have kind of grazed something off it. And then the only other one is the third bar, which is weed control. So if I get, yeah, I might go in there with a weed sprayer and just turn it on and off like you do. Bit of a strange dynamic that is, and how people have to just go in with grass fields and turn on a weeder on and off. But I guess that's hopefully something we get an improvement on in FS25 with precision farming, because I imagine that's going to come back. I personally think it should be part of the base game. I don't think it should keep being a mod, but we'll see what happens. I also wanted to point out this. I found this really strange, just like a load of stones in this one section. Now, I don't play with stones anyway. I don't play the collecting stones or anything like that. It's the one thing I'm just not too keen on. Yeah, so I always usually tend to turn that off. But I just found it really strange that in this section here, there's, I mean, an incredible amount of stones. Yeah, spot on. There's also another ground texture, I don't know if you noticed, but you can see them red and white bits. That's fertilizer. So if you put fertilizer down on the ground, it's solid fertilizer. You get to see it doesn't just go darker. You see the speckles as well. So I really like that ground texture. But anyway, disconnected from the seed-up. We're just going to leave it there. We're going to drive up with the Deutsch farm. We're going to first drop off the weight because we're going to obviously need to bring the mower back. And we're going to crack on with it. We've got 3 fields to get through. But hopefully by the end of this episode, we'll have done all 3. They'll be in the bunker. They'll be compacted. And we'll have bought maybe like 5 hay bales and just give the cows a bit of feed and give the sheep a bit of feed. That's the hope. But everything looks a bit bare at the moment because it's been planting and rolling. So, everything looks a little bit bare. It's going to look better when everything starts growing again. I imagine next harvest time, not this one, but next harvest, we should have a fully flourishing farm, let's say, with everything planned out and hopefully pretty organised. And then you never know, by that point, next harvest, after that, we can start looking at another map. I know there's a lot of maps that have all of a sudden come on my radar. I know that Lancey Boy's UK map might be close. I don't know if that's 100% certain because I'm not been speaking to Lancey Boy at all, but I just know from a post he put on Facebook that he's been working on a fictional UK map for a bit of time, and I know he's going to be sending it out soon. So hopefully, that can be pretty cool because I always loved Lancey Boy's FS19 maps in the UK. I'm not a massive American map player, so it's nothing against his American maps. Just never been a big fan of playing on US maps just because, I probably should try it more. I probably would really enjoy it. It's just, I've tried it a couple of times and can never really get into it as much as I can get into playing on maybe a European map or a UK map. But Lancey Boy's maps from FS19 I really liked, like Charwell and stuff like that. So I'm really glad that he's doing a UK map again, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it. And hopefully we can get it at the tail end of FS22. It might be a nice way to, in fact, it'll be a brilliant way to go out with a bang on FS22 if Lancey releases map. Because I know a lot of people would love that, and they'd be using it a lot. But he'd probably get pestered as well, saying, "Can you bring it over to FS25?" So I am looking forward to that. And I know there's a few maps that I've not tried that look pretty good. A lot of people are playing on them right now. The vintage oaks, I think it's called. I've seen a lot of people playing on that and talking about it. I've seen some pictures in my Discord as well about it. So that could be an option that we try out. It's better to have more options. It's nice to have the options though. That's the bit that's the best part of it. Right, so I think I've just turned on. Yes, I have. That's good. So we've got the conditioner on. Let's first unfold that, and I'll press that. And I think as well the conditioner's on that. And I went with the best sized mowers that I could possibly do with this tractor because 225 I think it is on the Deutsch Spar, 170 on the Fendt. So we have to keep an eye on that. But we are mowing. We're finally making some grass. The cows are crying out for it. And at the moment, the cows are probably our best way of making money with us not having many sheep. So we need to try and get through this and at least get this silage fermenting in the bunker. Because I don't want to keep buying bales as well. I want to try and avoid that. But not massive fields for grass fields. But 3 decent size, adds up to 1 really good size grass field. And we'll have a good amount in the bunker fermenting. And I am going to get some silage additive as well for that pickup because I've got the container on it. So the option to use silage additive. So that should help us and increase a little bit. We're doing alright. 3 fields. There's just 2 in that direction behind our 2 crop fields there. I mean, you've seen me in a previous episode when I was doing the spraying. But look at the size of this mower. I'm going to fly through this. We do need a row though. I forgot about the row. That's the one thing I've not thought about is getting a row. So I'm going to have to go back and lease a row out. Maybe we can use a Fendt for that and see if we can get a really good size one just to fly through this. Try and be as productive as possible. Just got to keep an idea. Just got to keep a an eye on the horsepower. Nothing over 225. That's on max. I'd like to always be a little bit underneath it as well. But anyway, let's get through this. 3 fields to mow. I'll probably do a bit of rowing, then I'll cut back in. And yeah, we'll get that pickup wagon and start picking up some of this grass to get in that bunker. I haven't figured out which one I'm going to pick yet. I think they're all the same size anyway, so it shouldn't matter. There we go. Welcome back, everybody. Decided to do like 3 time lapses in this video. It's not normally what I do. 2 is usually my maximum, but what I've done is kind of separated and made them a little bit small. So the first one was obviously whilst I was doing the planting of the grazing fields. I just did a one of mowing, but then I cut out the rowing. So I leased out a 15-meter class row, which is up at the store to return, and I've rowed all 3 fields. But now we are in the Crone pickup wagon that we've leased out as well. I bought a crate or like a pallet of the silage additive and filled it up max. Now it's weird how it goes to 59.71 litres from a full pallet, but I don't know, I thought it'd be about 60 litres, but it is what it is. But let's get through this. I think this has got a capacity of about 30 odd thousand, maybe 35, so it's going to be a few trips, because in certain areas, especially in one of the second fields, I think it'll be like the 3rd field we do, there's some massive rows with it being a 15 meter. We've got great return, great yield. But so yeah, fingers crossed we get a shed ton here. That's the aim. Well, a bunker ton. I'm just going to try and show you the yield. There we go, and the yield. So you can see in this section here especially, 15. So 7's not too bad. 16's a little bit better. But yeah, this one here, this area, we got a lot of grass coming off it. So that's a really good spot. It must be loam. So we're definitely going to have enough feed for the cows. Just got to make enough hay. Unfortunately, we're not going to get a second cut. I mean, what I could do is leave one of the fields that I've rowed for hay. I mean, that actually might be a really good idea. Should we just pick up 2 and leave 1 for hay, knowing that we're going to need the feed, and we can start doing some TMR mixes then? And like I said previously in one of the episodes, I could use red beets in as part of the mix. So I think I'll do that. I think I might keep about, I don't know, maybe 20,000 litres of the red beets for feeding. And we'll make 1 field of hay, pick up 2 right now for silage. And I think that should tie us over. And it means that we can just buy a few bales while this grass silage is fermenting, because we can make the hay straight away and we don't have to wait for that. So why don't we, at the end of this video, maybe buy 5 silage bales and 5 hay bales. Bring them back and we can start feeding the animals, and then that should tie us over then till we are, till it's fermented, sorry. Just trying to think then. Which bunker should I go for out of the 3? Man, I'm pretty certain they're all the same size. Might be a good idea to try and back up to that, see if I can tip in from this side. I'm hoping that's the way they were designed. There is a bit of a fall off though there, isn't there? Might be able to do it. I mean, there's only one way to find out. Let's see if this works. I don't think it's going to work. This might be a bit of a silly idea. But we'll try it anyway. I mean, it does. Yep, that looks like it's working to me. So we'll just keep tipping it in this side. Fill up from the back. So let's have a look then. Which one would you say? We're going to need quite a bit of hay, aren't we? I think if we did 16 and 7 is silage, and then we'll use this last one here, which we've got the good yield for hay. That might kind of equal out a little bit more. We're not going to be making a dent in this, are we? This bunker, thinking about it. But it's going to be enough for us with the amount of cows we've got, hopefully, anyway. I know with Maize Plus, they do consume a lot. I did get asked a question. I did actually get asked a question about that. One of the comments that I was reading whilst I was away was like, how do you kind of cope with the feed requirements of Maize Plus? And it's really simple. The answer is just customize it. There's an XML. It's Animal Food Additions XML. And you can change it and customize it to what you want, put different types of feed into the mixes and stuff like that. So I've made it definitely more than the base game. It's still a lot more than the base game, but it's just not as intense as what it is with Maize Plus originally. Kind of just reduced it just a tad, just to try and bring it back in line with the size fields and gameplay wise. Even though it is realistic to the amount that animals will consume on a real life farm, cows eat a lot of food, especially dairy cows, but even milkers consume a lot of food. Grass mixtures, everything, nutrients, all of it is piled in. And I think it just looks a lot because we're playing a game and everything's scaled down just that little bit with the fields and the amount you get from it. I mean, you notice with a field this size, the amount of bales and grass you can get from it, and the way them bales get consumed, it's a little bit out of sorts in the base game. And that's just because, you know, we can't really do that many acres in the game. Basically, you could do, but it'd take you a long time. So that, you know, Giants obviously intend it to be user friendly. But yeah, I mean, some farms can get through about four bales a day. So it really just depends, I guess, on what and what your cows are and what they're feeding, and you know what you're trying to do with them. Let's just try and figure this out then. Yeah, I think we keep that one. You can see the size of them rows. We're going to make a lot of hay bales out of that, so we'll keep that, and then we'll get some hay done in another episode, but we don't have to wait too long. We've still got to make this ferment. It's crazy how I've only picked up, really. It looks so much, but this, with it being 30,000 litres, I mean, I'm still on, this is the second load, and I'm going to be on that other field, but I still think it's a good idea to do another field of hay. Definitely, we're gonna need it, and it saves us spending money on hay when we can just make some and probably tie us over for a bit. Just hope this silage is going to be enough, because yeah, even though I have adjusted it just to make it a little bit friendly, it still demands, yeah, it's still a lot of feed that's required. So we'll have to see. I might try and fill up 3, and then, because I'm thinking about this one will fill up, and then I don't think what's left in the field is going to fill up a third, so I might then go and fill up a third, and then leave what's left for hay. It's probably the best bet. 36,000 litres though. I mean, it's not too bad, but normally I'd like within a bunker at least, I don't know, about maybe 500,000 litres of silage, but we're going to be well shy of that. We're not even at the 100,000 mark yet, so if we try to get at least to the 100,000 mark, that should, fingers crossed, ties over. If the grazing mod kicks in, it definitely ties over then. But we'll find out. We'll find out. I do like these bunkers where you can fill up at the back, but I don't think that's what its intention was. But it works, so I'm not complaining. As this tips in, I'm just going to jump into this in a second. Yeah, so you can see that it is filling up. I was trying to think. This bunker would easily hold 1 million litres. And we've got maize as well. Eventually, that's going to be in one of them. And you've got the grass silage and the whole crop silage. So we should have a lot of silage at some point. We just need to get to that point. And we've got to compact it as well. That won't take too long though, with it not being that much. I mean, 100,000 litres, if we get around that mark, just over 100,000 litres, then yeah, it shouldn't take long. Let's go finish it off though. I mean, I was going to do a time lapse, but there might not be any need to do a time lapse. I'm trying to think, we'll get a lot more hay bales, won't we? Now, I'll definitely pick up a third load. I'll fill it up for a third time, and I'll take what I need out of that field and leave the rest for hay. But I think it is the wisest decision. Saves us money in the long term, and we're just kind of making do with what we've with pretty much what we've got. That's probably a wise decision. But I'm just glad we're getting feed in, because the cows right now are producing nothing. They're actually struggling, which is not ideal. It's not a good idea, is it, to not feed your cows? But I mean, at the moment, they're kind of picking up worms like the birds out of that planted field. So I've got to go get them some hay before the end of the day. I mean, technically, I'm still in the same in-game day as the last episode anyway, so it's not like they've gone over another day. It's only been the one day where they've struggled. That grazing mod is a lifesaver, though. It's nice to have it as an option. And it is realistic as well. It's not like you can fault it. Cows do graze out in the fields, and they don't always rely on, silage mixes, TMR mixes and all that stuff. It is, the diet does make up a bit of a mixture of grazing out and then obviously having supplements and then a bit of silage maybe, as and when you kind of bring them in, the milking. We might actually get a full one from this. I was thinking we wouldn't get a third full one, but it looks that way. 65%. Yeah, we'll definitely fill up from this. I guess it's the fact that going off what I got from from the first field, but this is a better yield. So, I mean, that final one is going to be massive, and we're going to get a lot of hay bales. But I don't know if you've seen as well. I put a community post out. Giants posting something about weather. And it's for FS25. It's really interesting, and it's to do with like weather changing, a shift in weather. I think it's the exact quote. Now I am super excited for that. I'm hoping they're not overhyping something there. It's just going to be maybe like, oh, if it starts raining, your character automatically changes into a coat. Because I'm going to be like, why tease us like that when it's something, it could just be so much more. I'm hopeful. I am. I'm excited by the idea. I'm hoping it's got something to do with, maybe like the weather shifts and we get different stages of storms, like heavy rain, light rain, hail, not just like it's raining, and get heavy rain. And then if it does rain heavy, maybe some of the crops get flooded in certain areas and you lose a bit of yield or something. I don't want it to be too harsh or drastic, but I would like to have something like that just keeps us on our toes and means that we're not always guaranteed. Like now, for example, I've been prepping these fields and with precision farming and everything. I just know every time I've done this, so I'm going to get this maximum yield. But it'd be nice to have a random encounter where it's like, oh, a pesticide. You need to do this in this many days, or else you're going to take a massive hit on the yield. And just keep it interesting a little bit, and just not always so guaranteed, because the world of farming isn't like that. Farmers struggle like mad, and a lot of the time their crops do fail. And when that happens, you know, it puts a lot of stress onto farmers and farming families. And I'd love to have some sort of aspect to that, or yeah, in the game, but maybe just not as harsh. Not like your whole field's gone because a load of beetles just ate it or something crazy. Just a small adaptation to that, maybe, where it's, you know, your field's flooded in this certain area, you've now lost 75% yield on that just small patch. Or maybe they could even, I mean, my imagination could just keep going, but maybe they could like add a tool for irrigation. So if you do get flooding, if you don't irrigate in a certain amount of time, you lose a good chunk of yield on that area. And if there's a way of irrigating that section and making the drainage better as well, then that could be an option. But God, I mean, I'm hoping it's something interesting. I imagine from that, I mean, it's now Wednesday I'm recording this. You guys are going to see this video on Thursday. I'm hoping by Friday, so it'll be tomorrow for you guys watching, that we get some kind of additional post from that, because I think they've teased us with some information there and then I'm thinking, well, surely the next logical step from Giants would be to put out some info on it. And they've been posting some stuff near the end of the week, haven't they, recently? So I'm hopeful. And I did ask the question what people think. I think a lot of people agree. They hope it's not just something visual. I mean, I've got a feeling it's because the guy's running, he's in a coat. Again, another third person, maybe hint, third person camera. But part of me thinks, I wonder if it is just like, oh, it's raining heavy, and now what you can do is set seasonal clothes. So it's not just one set of clothing. In your character, you can set like clothes that he wears in the summer, in the sun, in the rain, in the snow, and so on, which I'd like them to do, but they shouldn't kind of focus on that. Giant shouldn't like boast about that. That should just be something that they add in and just, you know, briefly tell us. It doesn't warrant a post, basically, in my opinion. So I'm hoping it's a little bit more, and I have faith in Giants. I do. I'm saying that whilst also thinking, don't let me down, Giants, please. Right, so I'm going to fill this one up. I'm going to fill up the fourth. I think that should be a good idea, and then we'll definitely leave enough grass silage. Sorry, to make some hay bales from. We're not going to need loads of them. It's a shame we couldn't get that second cut in, but we'll see what happens before the end of the year. But look at these row sizes now. They're massive in comparison. They are beefy. This is flying up. We're already at 77%. So they'll definitely make enough hay bales from it. Yeah, God, we're nearly full already. I haven't even done the first headland and we're full. There you go. So I think that should do it. I think that there will leave for hay. But unfortunately what I'm going to have to do is ted that and then row it again, which means that the row that I've got now I'll keep. There's no point in returning it, but I'll lease out a tedder. I'm leasing out a lot of equipment at the moment, but it just saves buying it all. Some of it I will buy. I've carried on leasing like the baler and stuff. I think at some point I will buy it. The lease to buy mod's are really good for that. And maybe even this forage wagon. Who knows? It does make it a lot easier with using a forage wagon than you know, setting up a course plane and all that stuff, and getting a forage harvester and trailing and everything to the side of the forage harvester. This is just an easy job for a single player kind of set up. But that's the beauty of Autodrive. I think it's one of the mods I'm really looking forward to having soon as. This Easy Dev mod is a must-have when FS22 comes out. I hope that comes out relatively quick, but I hope Autodrive does as well. And I know that's probably going to be difficult because it is a really sophisticated mod, but I'm really hopeful we get something soon with the Autodrive. I think I've got stuck here somehow. There we go. Move it again. But yeah, hopefully it's one of the first mods we see. In fact, that's a good question. What do you think is the most required mod from FS22 that we need to get straight away for FS25? Like, you know, there's something previously it was like seasons. You want seasons straight away, but we don't need to do that now since for FS19. Then it was like course play, but it doesn't look like we need course play now because of what's being brought into the game. So what else do you think? Autodrive's got to be one, surely, for PC players. an easy dev. Easy dev is a must for me as a content creator. Easy dev just makes my life a lot easier than using the console commands and all that stuff. So I am looking forward to having easy dev return, and I'm hoping, you know, that the person that the mod author will be on point with that and get it out. I know we've got a lot of map authors that are working their socks off right now for getting some good maps into FS25, so I don't think we need to worry about that. 138,000 litres in this bunker looks like nothing. It looks like a smidge of what we should be putting in. And we need more grass fields, really. To fill this bunker up, we'd need more grass fields. Or we'd need to keep adding to it, which you can do with the mod. We can actually reopen the bunker and then just keep adding grass to it, and it'll just need to ferment. So we could do that, but then really what you want to be doing is 1 cut for silage, 1 cut for hay, and then maybe another cut for silage. So we could do 2 cuts and then a 3rd cut for hay. I think that would tie us over. But do we really need a full bunker of grass silage if we do maize silage and whole crop as well? Probably don't, do we? So I think we just try and put the full 3 fields in, and just not make it as tall like I've done now. Pushed it up to the edge, just make it flat and kind of flatten it down and drive over it and make it easier than this now compacting. We could just do up and down stretches on it, but we'll get through it. I'm not even using any kind of compacting tool, and we're still, you know, doing pretty well. 15% can be a really tedious job. There is a cracking mod though, and if I just press that, you'll see that this can be done for me. So I just have to sit and wait. So I might do that. I might finish off my brute, let this worker do the job for me, and hopefully we'll have a nicely compacted bunker. It won't look pretty because of the size and the amount that we've put in, but it will be silage, and then we can start maybe going to get some hay and silage bales anyway, and that's probably the best bet. Right, so I've finished off my brute, if you wanted an update on that. Well, what we are going to do is we're going to return that, but that one's not working, so we're just going to go into our leased menu because of some of the stuff that I want to return. I need that seeder, but I will just keep it because I know I've got some stuff in it that I need to empty. We'll keep that spreader. We don't need the mower. I've just got rid of. We do want the windrow. Forage wagon we're not going to need now because the rest of it is going to be, again, by hay, and we're not going to get a second cut. But again, I've got stuff that I want to empty. I do need to lease out a tedder though, so we'll keep the row. Right, let's head back. I've bought 5 bales of hay and 5 bales of grass silage. So we're just going to take these back, feed probably like 1 each to the cows just to keep them happy, and then we'll go and do the final task, which is going to be really straightforward. Just covering the bunker because I have gone and checked the worker and he completed it, so that's it 100% now. Oh, we're getting there slowly. I feel like these last couple of episodes have been a lot of work just to get these. It's like a pile up of jobs that just come. And hopefully soon as well. Well, by the time the next episode comes, it'll look better because we'll have moved forward into November, so a lot of the stuff will go to the next growth stage. So all these plain fields that we've got floated about will improve. Right, so let's just drop this off just about here. We'll be fine. Right, that's that done. Take that one off and that. And like I said, just 1 bale at a time will be spot on. It can't handle any more than that anyway. Tips over because I'm going to wait because I was travelling up in the trailer. But yeah, let's try to do 2. We'll do 1 of each. This is the first time I've actually been into this and fed the cows properly. Didn't really plan it out well. I thought, oh yeah, now will be a good time to get some cows. Yeah, we really didn't have the feed for it. But at least they're getting fed now. I think the sheep are fine. They've actually got a bit of grub left. And they're not consuming hardly anything because we don't really have enough of them. I mean, they can consume a lot, but when you're at that point, you've got a lot of sheep and they're making you a lot of money through wool. The cow's running in. He's like, finally, some food. Fed up eating soil. Sorry about that. Hey, oh, taking the bale with me. Come on. I do think the physics in bales need to be improved. My God. It's like they're so light for what they actually are in real life. They're bloody massive and you know, they weigh a lot. They really do. Right, so that's that done. Cows have actually got some food now, finally. So that should start going up. We've planted in grass seed, so that will obviously be really good for the cows and the sheep because they're going to have food from the grazing mod, which is going to help us out as well with the work we have to do. You can see that the sheep are quite happy. They've got enough grub there. They don't consume much. Daily food's 1,500, so we can leave that. But this one, well, that's not even enough for a day. 16,200. So yeah, we really need that grazing mod to kick in. But I'll feed some more in a second, but at least they've got something to tie them over for a little bit. And we have got a tiny bit of milk there as well. But one last job is this. This is at 100%. It doesn't look good, does it? Just because it's not much in there. But it's silage, and as you can see, with the amount of feed just them cows are consuming every day, that's 16,000 litres. This wouldn't go and last us out the whole year. But when we do have a bunker of maize silage, and obviously more in the grass silage bunker, and some whole crop silage and some hay, you know, we mix it in with some red beets, we should be fine. But there we go. At least that's fermenting. I'm quite happy with that. These last two episodes, you know, I had a long list of jobs I wanted to do, and we got through. So let's just finally just take a bit of a recap then on what's left to do. It'll be next week now by the time I get back onto this series. So yeah, let's try and figure out what we've got to do. I think the only thing really with the fields is fertilizing. Well, we're not going to do that until the spring months next year. We have got to plant in sunflowers, but we can't do that until spring next year anyway. We've got to harvest the soybeans first, so these 3 fields. Then we can start prepping the fields and everything like that. We could technically put some fertilizer down for the grass, but we aren't going to be mowing that till next year. So I don't think there's any rush with that, but it will need nitrogen. I mean, a lot of the stuff needs nitrogen really. But yeah, like I said, we're not going to harvest that or chop it until next year anyway. So there's no rush at all. Probably till about maybe April, May time that we'll get a first cut on the grass. So yeah, no rush at all. We might have a bit of slurry by then and everything. So yeah, pretty happy with that. But soybeans is a harvest. That's going to be next month. So next episode we'll be harvesting them. Sunflowers planting in March. So yeah, we're doing well now. We've got a bit of a gap where things will ease off a little bit. And hopefully, like I said, in the next episode when it starts, you'll see that this is looking a lot better. The fields have taken, the seeds have taken in all the other fields, and that's looking better. And hopefully as well, that grass silage will be fermented, and we can start doing a bit of a TMR mix, maybe with some red beets and hay. You can always buy some hay in the meantime, but we have got some left off. So I'll make sure I do that before the start of the next episode. I'll get that hay baled off, stored in probably, yeah, I'll probably put it in there with the straw bales that I've got. And then at least we'll have some silage and some hay, and we can start sorting the cows out again with some red beets mixed into that. And then we'll produce some milk, make money from that, and we can crack on and get the soybeans done. So yeah, pretty happy with it. But I think on that note, I'm going to leave the video there. Really enjoyed it. Hopefully you have too. If you have, give the video a thumbs up because that does help me out. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button for more videos just like this one on Farming Simulator. See you, everybody.